Ja, oké. Wat is er? Wat is er? Hello. It's been a long day. I'm pretty tired, but I wanted to start up a stream anyway. Because I want to keep in the rhythm of things. Today I had a job interview. It went well, but I'm mentally exhausted. Those things are always, you get a bit anxious before them. You can't really help it. So, today we'll be continuing with DrawABox. How's the music volume, by the way? DrawABox is this tutorial I'm following that's hopefully gonna help me learn how to draw. So today we'll be doing something called ghosted lines, which is basically what we will be doing is we'll be marking out 2 points on a piece of paper Those points are probably way too small. And then what we'll be doing is I'll be repeatedly making the stroke between them, but not actually putting down my pen on the paper, or tablet in this case. I'll do that until I feel comfortable with the stroke, and then without thinking about it, I will put my pen down and actually make the stroke. Supposedly this is gonna help me like build up muscle memory, and it's gonna give me more precise strokes when I actually do put my pen down. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna turn out, because I have absolutely no idea, but we're gonna give it a try. So I've made my points on the paper. I gotta figure out something to make you... I guess you can't see it unless I touch the piece of paper, so you're just gonna have to believe that I'm actually doing this, I guess. This feels very weird, just moving my hand across the paper. I'm gonna keep calling it paper, even if it's a tablet. Well, that's not a very good start. I'm not so sure how this is supposed to go, but I don't think it's supposed to go like that. Should I give myself a do-over? Maybe my posture's not correct. Or maybe the angle's too hard. I'm going to try and rotate the piece of paper a little bit so I can draw almost upwards, which seems to be what's comfortable for me, personally. Also, I'm very zoomed out of this piece of paper. I'm going to get a little bit closer here. That's still a pretty wobbly stroke, but at least it connects on both ends, right? Let's keep trying. I'm trying to make a clear point here. There we go. I'm gonna repeat the same process again. I think I need to be a bit more excited about when I put my pen down, because this is it starts at this point, but as you can see, I didn't put enough pressure. I guess I could just not use pressure sensitive brush. That might help as well. This is also pressure sensitive. Right, the opacity is set very low. See, now it's always, there's always at least a line. That's a little bit better. So maybe we want to do a different kind of line. It doesn't matter because I'll be rotating my piece of paper to an angle where I'm comfortable, which is one of the suggestions in this that I got from this tutorial, is to always rotate your piece of paper to make sure you're comfortable. So I'm going to start ghosting again. See, I got distracted a little bit there. This absolutely requires a lot of focus. Maybe this isn't the best thing to do on stream, but I enjoy doing it anyway, so we're going to keep at it. I'm going to make another line right here. Angle it a bit. And just ghost again. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. I have the tutorial open here with some tips. So let's see. They have a section on like mistakes. But there's none for the missing the beginning point. Is that because I'm not confident enough in putting my pen down? That's probably it, right? Gonna give that another try. I'm still missing, but at least the line is there. The lines are straight, so that's good. Maybe try a really long line, see what happens. I made a little course correction there. I'm not supposed to make these little bends, but it's the best line I've made so far. It connects on both ends. Let's try another one of those. Just see where it goes. I'm also gonna... I have this huge pop filter for my mic, and it's like kind of blocking my vision. I'm gonna readjust my desk a bit so I have a better angle at my tablet. That's very close. It's actually really hard to focus on this and still keep talking. It's quite difficult. That's better. That was pretty confident. Supposed to fill the whole paper with this, I think. It's gonna take a while. The superimposed lines went way faster than this. Overshot on both ends. See there? I'm thinking about it again, and now it's just wobbly. It's pretty smooth. It's a little arced, but not too much. Let's do another short one. That's okay. It went through both points. It's straight. It did overshoot a little bit. I feel like I'm making a little bit of progress here. Came just short. Hey Pondy, welcome back. We're moving on to the second exercise right now. Today we're drawing ghosted lines, which means we're hovering the pen for like a couple of strokes to build up muscle memory, and then we actually put the pen down and make the stroke without thinking much about it. It really takes a lot of focus though. It makes it hard to think about like what I want to say and reading the chat, so maybe I should pause a bit between each one and then just put full focus when I'm trying to make one. Not confident enough in that stroke. I really starting to develop a lot of respect for people who do art streams all the time and that interact with chat. A lot of respect for those streamers because it's very difficult. True. These are practices, and things are going to go wrong with practice. Let's try another one. I do tend to get a little overenthusiastic when I actually commit. I'm wondering if you can you actually see my cursor moving when I do this. Not very clearly. I wonder if there's some kind of tool that will make it easier for the stream to see my cursor, but not like give me a big fat cursor right here on my tablet. Because I've seen art streams where... Gonna have to spend some time investigating that. Professional streamer here. Production value. Yeah, what I mean is when like right now I'm hovering over the tablet. I am using Clip Studio Paint. Yep. It was, I saw a lot of artists use it, and it wasn't too expensive. Like, I'm not a student anymore. I can't exactly drop in with Adobe Photoshop right away. That was pretty confident. There's still a little, like, huck over there. That was my pen holder that just fell down. Just knocked it over. Try another long line here. But yeah. Oh. Clip Studio Paint logo. Uh-huh. Let's see. Brush type cursor, pen type cursor. Yeah. It is brush size, but it's not very clear, I think. Like it's a circle with opacity in the middle. Let's see. Brush size and dots. I'll just try one of these out. Oh yeah. I think that's more visible. Is this more visible on stream as well? It was already on brush size before. It's easier for me to see as well, but I'm wondering if it's distracting me from where my pen actually is, or if it's helping me make a straight line. These are the long lines, though, and I think these are some of the best long lines I've made so far. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it's practice. I'm gonna keep doing these long strokes. It's so tempting to correct yourself. My canvas might be a bit big compared to my pen. Yeah, possibly. I did make it a pretty big canvas. Art streamers are usually coloring. I mean, I've seen them do line work as well. But those are like really experienced artists. Like professional artists. The person that actually sort of inspired me to start doing this was a really big VTuber called Inamis. Not sure if you've heard about her. She streams on YouTube, part of Hololive English. But she's actually a professional artist as well, in addition to being a streamer. Oh, how big is the canvas, you mean? I thought, like, how big is the streamer? I'm really tired. Yeah. I made the canvas 2000 by 2000 pixels. I was looking up how big to make it, and they said to make it big and just zoom out. She's really cool. I kind of She has a really chill voice, and she's a really good artist. That's the sort of person I aspire to be. I'm not sure how big people usually make it. I like looked it up, and someone said like, "Oh, make it 2000 by 2000. I used a 600 DPI setting. But like, I'm just doing practice, right? I'm not actually drawing anything. Yeah. So I should be good then. True. I'm not sure if it matters for the purpose because I'm doing practice. I just copied what someone on the internet said. You know, if you don't know any better, that's usually you try that until you find out that you're wrong. Right? Because you know, sometimes people on the internet are actually wrong. It should just affect file size though, doesn't it? Like it doesn't really matter that much for the result. At least not if I'm printing it or anything. This angle is... I need to rotate more to get the comfortable angle. Your device size was 2000 by 2000. These long lines are pretty hard. I suppose more pixels is always better, because you could just scale it down. I have a lot to learn, not just about drawing, but also about like digital art. And these tutorials actually recommend me to go like non-digital, like just with a pen and paper. I kind of get where they're coming from, because now I'm like introducing additional variables of difficulty by using technology. But I also kind of want to learn how to use a tablet, so I kind of ignored their advice to use a pen and a piece of paper. And I don't have one of those fancy tablets that you can like overlay a piece of paper on top of the tablet, right? And then draw on the paper. Mine is not that fancy. I don't know how to stop being over enthusiastic on the end of my lines. I have this tendency to just like go like, oh, make a line, make a line, make a line. But you really want to be more precise. Like either end is bad, right? Like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw a line, and you're like, oh, correct. Oh, I have to make it straight. You're gonna go like this. Yeah, that's what human creation is in the end, isn't it? It counts for everything. Music, uh, drawing, architecture, even programming. It's all just rehashing other people's things in new ways, basically. I'm gonna actually draw this line now. Let's try a small line and try and be very precise about it. I'm still doing the same thing. I wasn't doing this before. Is this just getting impatient with myself? I should not do that. It's just practice. I don't have to prove anything to anyone, right? See, I've been seeing Ina do these what is it called? Posture? Like posture drawing practice? And I'm like, I want to join this. And the first thing that pops into my head is like, I'm not good enough to even try this, but I think that's a bad way of thinking about it. Maybe next time she does one of those, I think she does them weekly, maybe I should just join. And even if it's like terrible, gesture drawings, yeah. You know what I'm gonna try? Um, the author of these tutorials said most people draw better when they draw away from themselves. But what I'm gonna do is try something else, because maybe I'm not most people, right? I'm gonna do it towards myself. Not sure if that was more comfortable. Let's try a few more. I wonder if I'm actually getting distracted by this change of cursor that I did. I find with these sorts of things, it all comes down to personal preference, right? And there's so many options. It takes a long time before you become comfortable with something. I do this in my day job as well, which is programming. You have lots of tools, and it takes a long time to find the settings that you're comfortable with. It takes a long time. What if I do none? What if I just do none? Because that's what paper wouldn't make this, right? Paper wouldn't make any cursor. So do you find that the cursor helps you when you're drawing? Or does it like distract you? I'm going to draw an upward line again. Because maybe I am, like most people after all, most comfortable drawing away from the body. Too busy drawing to notice. Yeah, see, I think that's the issue with beginning. You try to approach drawing, and you think about it a lot. There's no existent muscle memory. And when you think, you overthink, and you make even more mistakes. Whereas, if you just let go, you're gonna make mistakes, right? When you use a square brush and the cursor is a circle, yeah, that does sound frustrating. See, this is a pretty straight line. I still can't shake the overshooting part, it seems. Let the texture become the cursor. They can't do that yet? I thought they did do that. Do they not? I have like a calligraphy pen here. Let's see what happens. I'm curious now because you just said this. Has my brain deceived me? Brush and tool specific. Yeah, see, I set it to brush and tool specific, and it seems to adapt to the shape of the... So this seems to match. Where would I get a square brush? Is that a default setting somewhere? Is it? Oh, it's something I need to download from the store. But you agree with me, right, that this is the shape of the pen. Can you see this actually? Like, this is the calligraphy pen. So it's thick in this direction, and it's thin in this direction. And that's what I'm seeing on screen. So, at least for the default brushes, it seems to match the shape. Oh, this is pretty distracting, actually, to have this whole cursor thing show up. I think that might be the case, that custom brushes might be the issue. I can imagine it would be pretty hard to allow a user to create a custom brush and then have the cursor match it. Are there tools that allow you to do that? Does Photoshop do that? Because as a developer, software developer, I can imagine that being pretty hard. Because you'd have to basically account for like an infinite number of shapes and sizes of brush. That was a pretty good line. Yeah, I suppose. I'm pretty happy with this one. It's straight. It hits both points. It overshoots a tiny bit. This is my goal. Make these sorts of lines consistently. Ah. See, I don't know that many tools. I've not heard of Procreate. I know Photoshop is the industry standard. It's also pretty expensive if you're not a student. That seems pretty good. I forget how much this was. I think it was like $50 for Clip Studio Paint, the Pro version. I forget what the like more expensive version was. Was it like $200 or something? for Clip Studio Paint. The X version. Alright, thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it that you actually came back from last time. It feels nice to have someone come back to your stream. Have a good evening. I'm just gonna keep making lines. Just realized I've gone completely silent. I'm vibing with this music. With music like this, is there really any need for words? My arm's definitely getting tired from all of this. I think I should probably wrap it up soon. Just moving my arm around a bit. It's getting a bit stiff. They say as a streamer, you always need to keep talking, but is that always the case? With these kinds of chill streams, can it be silent sometimes? I think I'm gonna leave it a bit quieter as we head towards the end of the stream. That's a good stroke. I like that one. Interesting how good you can feel about just putting a straight line down on paper. It feels good. Just let energy flow through your body. and turn it into something. Anything. I really need to find my drawing glove. I could do this for hours more if it wasn't for the fact that my arm is starting to be a bit sore. But the chill vibes are great. Right. Put down one more line somewhere. Maybe a nice and long one. Right here. That was a bit wobbly, but I think we'll end it on that. Been live for an hour. I was pretty tired from work and having a job interview at the same time. Just wanted to get in a small stream, short stream. English is hard. I'm gonna go to the outro screen. And I'm gonna play with the default song, Dear Rainy Day.